Alright guys, October 22nd, 2016 update on the Craftsman LT1000 lawn tractor. It's been maybe about 2 months since you guys last saw this thing. I did that first video on it after we got it, and that was about it. But today I finally have an update to share with you guys on it. We finally got it running properly. So I'm excited to share that information with you guys today, and I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get started here. So in this video, I'm going to just do a quick overview of what we did to it, to get it going, and then I'm going to fire it up and we'll take it for a quick spin. So if you guys will recall, when my dad first got this tractor, he bought it off the neighbor for only $100 with a bad head gasket. And the neighbor was pretty much desperate to get this out of the garage. It was taking up space and he didn't have the time to work on it, so he just needed it out of the house, and he sold it to my dad for a complete bargain price. As I said, this thing did have a bad head gasket, and what happens when you have a bad head gasket on a gas engine is the engine burns a lot of oil and it just smokes like crazy because it's all coming out of a tear or something like that in the head gasket. And it was not that bad on this tractor. I've seen a lot worse before, but still, it was something that needed to be looked at and fixed. So my dad purchased a new head gasket off of eBay, and we put it on a couple weeks ago. For those of you who are inexperienced with the engines, this is not a fun job to do, just because of you have to have all the correct tools. You have to take the whole thing apart, not the whole thing, but you have to take a lot of the engine apart and then put it back together. And for people like me who are inexperienced, it's just not that fun of a job. My dad is experienced with this stuff. He's been doing it for a long time, so he showed me how to do this, but it was just not a lot of fun. So we did get it done. It took a couple hours, but we finally got this thing replaced and put back together. To replace the head gasket is like a paper-thin piece of rubber or plastic or something like that. It's behind the valve cover. You have to take all this stuff off to get to it. You have to take the engine cover off. And as I said, the old head gasket on this thing was, for the most part, intact. We didn't have to peel any of the old head gasket off. The tear was not that bad, so we just took the old one off and put the new one on and put it back together. And now it does not leak any more oil. It does not burn any more oil. We also changed the spark plug on it because after I did the first video on this thing, it was getting harder and harder to turn over. The spark plug was covered in soot, so it was not a good connection. So we had to replace that. We changed the oil in it too, so it is running 100 times better than it did before. This thing is still burning just a little bit of oil, and that's because there is some leftover oil in the muffler. We didn't clean out the muffler when my dad forgot to clean out the muffler, and there was still some leftover oil in it from when it was leaking. So it's taking a while to burn off that excess oil, but it's coming out of the muffler, not out of the engine. If you guys see smoke when I fire it up, that's just oil that's coming out of the muffler. So besides that, we replaced the head gasket, we replaced the spark plug, and we changed the oil. My dad also replaced the battery on this thing because the old battery that was in this thing was a bad battery and it was not holding a good charge. So he went to Walmart, purchased a new battery for it. As you guys can see, October 2016, brand new battery. So now this thing starts and runs like a champ. So it's got some crap in it. We had this thing pretty clean. There's some crap in here because I used this thing to mow the lawn yesterday. So now what are we going to be doing with this thing? Well, we do plan to sell it. My dad wanted to sell this a little bit sooner, but we just got around to working on it a couple weeks ago, so we're going to have to hold on to this thing for the winter because this is, it's fall, it's October, the leaves are falling, and this is not the ideal time to sell any kind of lawnmower. So we're going to have to hold on to this thing for the winter, but since we do have it, what my dad did is he actually bought a brand new snowplow for it. He bought it off of a Craftsman, or he bought it from Craftsman, a brand new snowplow, which we're going to be putting on it when the snow starts coming down, so we can use this thing to plow the driveway during the winter. And he also bought some tire chains and some tire weights for it, so we can, so we'll keep good traction when we're plowing. So I will do some videos of that after we get the plow on and when the snow starts to come, but for now it's only October. So we're just gonna be using this thing to cut up the leaves and cut the grass and stuff like that. But our yard is obviously not designed for a lawn tractor. It's just too small for a tractor. It's, you know, it's like done a lot better with a push mower. But I'll tell you, I have used this thing to mow our lawn. I use this thing to mow the neighbor's lawn. It takes like 2 hours off the job, I swear. This thing is so convenient. It cuts well, it starts right up, and it gets the job done. So anyway, now that I've gone over all the updates, I'm just gonna go ahead and start this thing up for you guys, and we're gonna take it for a quick spin. It hasn't been started since yesterday. It's only been sitting for about a day without being started. So we're just gonna put this thing to choke, and let's see how quickly it starts up now. Okay, that killed it. The other thing I forgot to show you guys in the first video were the headlights. Let me turn those on. I thought I put the parking brake on. Like I was saying before, this thing does have the dead man switch on it, so if you get off of it, it will die. But I guess I thought that didn't apply if you had the parking brake on. But anyway, I was just showing you guys how we got the bagging system going. We took the bagging system off of it for a little bit just to see how well it did with the mulching, and it did mulch pretty well. But this bagging system works pretty darn good too. The grass comes up, or it comes out of here, obviously, then it comes up the chute, and it goes into the bins here. And when you have this thing on, when the bins are empty or when they're not quite full yet, this thing will spin. That's what you guys are seeing here, that this thing will spin if it's clear, if the grass can go into there. However, if the bins are full, this thing will stop spinning, and that's how you know when to empty the bag. Or empty the bins. So there you guys go. I'm gonna go ahead and drive this thing back up to where we were before, and let's do this really quick. As you guys can see, there is still some smoke coming out of it. However, that smoke will stop after a few minutes. That only happens for a few minutes and then it stops. But my dad said that is in fact smoke that is coming out of the muffler, not coming out of the engine. There's still some unburned oil in the muffler that it's burning off. But there you guys go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. And yeah, so that's about all I got to show you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys updated on this tractor after we get the snowplow on and stuff like that. So we'll show it cutting, I'm sure, at some point, and we'll show it plowing some snow when that time comes. So thanks for watching, and that'll be it.